I'm gonna go, Ron, I'm gonna go that way, just so you know. Yep, you got it. Josh, I'm gonna go that way, just so you know. We'll use this little.
Going this way?
Yeah, we'll use this little setup here. Actually, I might use both setups, so we'll see. Okay. Now, we worked on the entry part, right? You guys got a lot of repetition on that. That's good. Now we're going to work on the exit part. So we're going to utilize a couple of different techniques to help us start to get moving to the next position sooner. Okay? There are a couple of techniques we can use in order to start, like the intention is when the target is available to us that we can start to get our body moving in some way. That's going to be advantageous in closing the distance to the next spot. Make sense to everybody? Yes. So there's a couple of things that we can do. 4 techniques that we'll talk about. Technique 1 is simply when we're shooting, we start to lift the leg in the direction we want to go. Right? Lead foot lift, I guess is what you would call it. I don't really have a particular name for it. Stank leg if you want to, you know, right? Gimp foot in my case, right? The idea is that as soon as we're about to go, we pick the foot up and then we can just push off the fart step. Ah, I like that one. That's a good one, the fart step. Okay? Okay. So that's good in certain cases, especially when you're kind of stuck in a place where you can't start moving, because like if I were behind this barrel and I start moving, what do I do to the target? I close the target off, which could cause problems. So in a target like this, being able to lift the leg allows me to maybe start some motion, in the process of motion, without closing the target off. Because you're in the process of shooting it as you're doing it. So the idea is that we're still shooting while we're practicing these techniques. Okay? This is also going to lead very nicely into shooting on the move too, because we're getting used to being not fully stable when we're shooting. Okay? So that's one. Fart step. Huh. I'm gonna start calling it that. This is funny. Number 2 is what I would call a 2-step lean. And what I mean by 2-step lean is all I'm doing is going from here to here. Here to here. I don't even pick this leg up. Just this process of starting to lean the body this way in a way that's controllable yet starting to move in the direction. It gives you tremendous opportunity to start powering and moving to the next position.
How are you shifting your weight with that? Just on the right foot?
Right? Why don't you try it right now? And everybody can try this.
If I'm like this.
Yeah. Yeah. We get a chance to play. It's not everybody's going to like a different technique. That's why we use a couple of them, right? You might like the next one, right? What I like about this is that I feel stable. Like I can still shoot as if I'm standing, but my body's in the right position, and then I push off, right? My body's in the right position, then I push off. That one, for me, I seem time-wise when I play around with these different techniques, that one seems to be the most agreeable to me in terms of hits and time, for me. Number 3, you're kind of going Captain Morgan, right? But the opposite. So number 3 is allowing the leg to start to fall over. So it's a lean, but allowing the leg to start to fall over. Now, whenever we're doing any of these, you want to hold still long enough that you can call shots and make up if you need to. Not that you commit so hard to the leave that something happens and you got to come back to it, right? But what I don't like about this one, where you start to cross your leg over, look what happens as my leg crosses. Turns my pelvis, and now I'm twisted, which could cause more tension. Now, some of you guys are going to really like it, right? Me personally, I find that this and this aren't so significantly different in time, and I seem to agree more with just this. But I give you both, and you can play around with them, right? The 4th one is starting to take a step out into shooting on the move, right? So I'm here, I'm about to shoot, I start shooting on the move a little bit, and then I turn and go. Understand that? Tom, you look a little confused.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm trying to see the difference between that and the first two are just moving to the next position, but this is shooting on the move.
This is starting to shoot, so first one, lift up, no movement. Second one, start to lean, then move. Third one, allow the cross to come over, then move. Fourth one is just I'm pushing this leg out and starting to move that leg out. Does that kind of make more sense to you? As you start to play with them, it's going to start to give you more perspective, right? My buddy personally likes that last one the best for him. But this is why we have a bunch of different techniques. We also have a bunch of different setups here with which you can practice different styles, right? And play around with different movements, right? So let's get eyes and ears on. I'll use this little setup here. And we'll play around with a couple of these techniques. The one time I actually catch it. Jeremy just messaged me and said that metronome clip is crazy. Okay. So, we'll shoot these targets here, or I'll pick a bunch of them. We'll play around with the different movement techniques. So first thing we're going to do, I'll do this, the fart leg, okay? I love it. By the way, in running, there's a certain type of running called fartlek, L-E-K.
Yeah.
Makes me laugh every time. Okay. The fart leg, here we go. All I'm gonna do, as soon as I'm coming onto this target here, I'm just gonna pick the leg up. Here we go. You can see the body lifts up, a little bit of push, and then a push. I find that that's the most effortful. I have to put a lot of effort into pushing out. Yeah.
I see you do something that Matt was doing too. You start that movement, you didn't mention it before. You did it.
Good.
You've got an aggressive elbow that's flowing in the direction you want to go.
I did.
I missed it.
Not the elbow. What I did talk about, if you break your hand off the gun, is throwing the arm underneath. In this case, I use the elbow to pull. Yes. You can think about it like the gun almost becomes like a little bit of a pendulum weight, and you just throw it. Right? 2:06 is the movement time there. Okay? Now I'm going to start to just lean in that next direction. Here we go. 2 foot lean. Fired a third, needed a third. This is why I use this for classes. Here, hold that.
Got it.
Right, so you saw my body starting to really heavily lean there, but I didn't really pick this foot up until I'm almost done shooting. Right, did you see that, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, I was confused. So you're just winding up. You're just
essentially.
I mean, that's...
Right. We're starting our body moving in the direction we want to go. So, 2:04 for the first, the fart leg. That's going to become a thing now. You know that, right? When Lauren posts this on YouTube, everybody's be like, fart leg, haha. Right? Beavis and Butthead showing up in the background. Yeah. 2:04. 2 foot lean, 184. Right? Saving some time on the entry. Now I'm going to allow the foot to come over. Right? More risk involved with that if your hips twist. If the target is easy enough, it doesn't really matter. Right? But as the target gets harder, that twist will start to pull your upper body with it. So pay attention to that. Okay? Allowing the leg to come over now. It's actually hard for me to do because I don't love doing that one. Okay, 2:04, 184, 174.
So you shot the second target while you were moving.
Yeah, I'm letting that leg come by, and I'm as soon as I'm shooting that target, I'm ready to go. This target affords me that opportunity, right? Other targets I'd probably lean a little bit less, but still be able to do the same thing, right? Last one. This is not the one that I particularly prefer, but I think this is good to practice, where I'm here and then I start to step, right? I just start stepping as if I'm shooting on the move. Some of you guys will actually like this. Here we go. .204, 184, 174, 163.
Did you change the shooting order going far
no.
and into near?
I always kept them the same for that.
Okay, got
That
it.
stayed the same. I wanted that to be constant,
Okay.
so that you guys can see the several different movement techniques, right? And you guys can practice this on the back target too, right? Like it doesn't have to be, like let me do all of them in some way on the back target there. Right, so the first one I'm not going to do, I'll do them all, that's fine. I want to shoot a little bit. We'll just shoot that back target there. So the first one with the leg. .213. Two-foot lean. .180. Cross. .177. Step into shooting on the move. A little bit of delay in the shoot, there's a little bounce there. 168. So you see it applies to all of them. Big key when you're any sort of unstable movement, really trying to keep your eyes on the target. Anytime your body is moving in relation to the target, you have to think about keeping on the target, right? So that includes movers or you moving in relation to the target. If you get stuck in pulling into the dot, it's easy, like if I'm aiming at Fred, it's easy for me to push off of him. Whereas if I stay on him, you see how my body starts to adjust as I'm shooting versus starting to drag off. Big key. Right? You can see I'm moving reasonably aggressively too, because I'm slightly out of breath from doing that. Any questions on that? No? Comments? Cool. I'll tape it up and then we can get started again.